bench for the first team, and he'll look to keep a clean sheet. That'll be his intention against a very good Liverpool side, pitting their wits against each other. Just going through the pre-match pleasantries, we can confirm the Villa team then: Olivier Ziyech in goal, Tristan Rowe, who's been excellent this season, Kane Taylor, Thierry Captacunha scored in the last game. Good to see Yema Mosquera get a start after coming on as a sub in the draw with Sunderland. Aidan Ball, the captain, Charlie Pavey, George Hemmings, Mason Kocher also scored last time out, Cole Brannigan and Jamaldine Jimo Iloba. The boss, head coach, Joseph Gombel. As for Liverpool, they're managed by Barry Lutas, their goalkeeper Cornel Miscure, outfield players Josh Davidson, Carter Pinnington. The captain is Amara Nalo, Tommy Pilling, Tyler Morton, Trent Cone-Doherty, James McConnell, Ranald Young, Trey Nyan and Rio Ungamoa. The two sets of substitutes for Villa: Rodrigo Fortes, Alex Hammond the keeper, Ethan Amundsen-Day started the last game, Ewan Simpson and Ilani Edwards. Liverpool's bench: Carol Figueroa, Reece Truman, James Balagis, Isaac Mabaya and Michael Laffey. Well, so they'll know whether they're in the playoffs at the end of this one. Referee blows his whistle and away we go for one final time for the Villa Under-21s in Premier League 2 for this season. They'll hope to sign off with a win. They began the campaign with a couple of good home wins. Derby and Blackburn seen off. They've lost their way a little bit in terms of results, but it's all about developing players, and every time we have a busy day in the EFL, as we have today, it frequently features Villa players going out on loan. You look at Louis Barry, nominated for an award for his brilliant season with Stockport, and many, many others, and that is a big feather in the cap for the academy. Villa's most memorable night against Liverpool at academy level was probably the FA Youth Cup win a few years ago in the final. And remember, they are in the final again this year, confirmed for Bank Holiday Monday the 5th of May, 3 PM kickoff against Manchester City, having done so well to beat Manchester United on penalties in the semi-final. Some brilliant nights here in the Youth Cup this season. Here in Premier League 2, Villa in their traditional colours, Liverpool in the white top, black shorts and white socks. And remember, you can see Unai Emery's pre-match press conference ahead of the big Premier League game against Newcastle at Villa Park tomorrow evening at half-time. Here's the ball slotted through by Hemmings. Jimo Iloba creeps into the penalty area. Good positive start from the Villains. Hemmings always looking to pull the strings. Jimo Iloba can glide and float into those dangerous areas in the channels, but that one just spins to safety for Cornel Miscure and the Liverpool team. The under-18s with a big game against Spurs this weekend. The Villa women back in action away to Spurs as well, looking to get the points they need to secure their WSL status for another year. Currently 4 points clear of Palace, and of course the seniors looking good to challenge for the Champions League again after that spectacular, memorable, proud night in midweek. Stunning stuff. Noise levels were incredible, especially with the third goal against the mighty PSG. Ran them so close. All scooped up high by Olivier Ziyech. We've seen a few different keepers play for the under-21s of late. Lander Emery and Proctor, who did so well in the Youth Cup with some Emi Martinez-esque exploits. It's a fairly mild, at the moment, dry evening. We've had a little bit of moisture in the air, touch of rainfall in this part of the world, but brilliant playing surface as always. Huge week coming up, of course, for Villa with the away game at Manchester City, and then the FA Cup semi-final against Palace. Best build-up on Villa TV. Here come Villa now with Charlie Pavey into the penalty area, cuts it back, and it's wide by Kocher. Golden opportunity for the Villains in the 4th minute of the game there. Pavey racing forward down the right, Kocher waiting in the middle. He's scored some wonderful goals in various different competitions for Villa's youngsters this season as Mason Kocher. He couldn't hit the back of the net on that occasion, but Villa putting Liverpool on the back foot from the outset here. A really purposeful opening to proceedings from the home side. Pavey, whose probably best day this season, came in Hungary at the Puskás Academy in the UEFA Youth League when he scored one and made one. He almost put it on a plate there. Well, he did put it on a plate for Mason Kocher, who for once couldn't gobble up the opportunity. Kocher starring in UEFA Youth League and FA Youth Cup. Stunning hat-trick against Bristol City and a comeback win in round 5. Scored in the wins over Accrington and Newcastle as well. Back with Olivier Zeich, but it's been in the Liverpool half where most of the action has come so far. If you miss any of the moments, we'll be bringing you the tale of the tape, the key incidents in the first half at half-time, as well as that comment from the Villa boss Unai Emery. Here's Jimo Aloba controlling the ball. Back goes McConnell for Liverpool. Hemmings makes things tick. Jimo Aloba always wants to try and influence. Now back with Mosquera. It'll be interesting to see how he fares alongside Cherry Katsukunya in the heart of Villa's defence. Zeich with the ball at his feet. Low trajectory this time. Kocher, lovely little control there, but in fact the linesman's flag has been raised and it's luminous yellow and orange checks here at Bodymore, Villa's training HQ, but bright and breezy from the outset from the team with the claret and blue shirts. Good chance for Kocher, laid on well by Pavey, who was released down the right side, but he just put his effort wide. Jimo Aloba got into a good position as well into the penalty area after being teed up by Hemmings. Forward by Liverpool, who know that if they do get the win here, they will be in those end of season playoffs. But Villa, of course, some of these players will be eligible to play in the FA Youth Cup final. And of course there are big games in the league to come as well for Villa's youngsters. They've got so many matches to cram in, but it's a fascinating race for the title and they're favourites to win it. Here now is Jimo Aloba trying to release Pavey, just bounces out for a throw-in. But yeah, got Spurs tomorrow and then several fixtures to fit in. Villa with all those games in hand, trying to win Under-18 Premier League South and the Youth Cup. Here in the Premier League 2, the 21s with Tristan Rowe. Rowe gets to the byline, just escaped his clutches there as it trickled over the edge of the pitch. Rowe as direct, as pacey as always. He played in a more advanced position in the last game, enjoyed that, but he's just as much of a threat when he plays on the right side of defence. Fantastic engine, excellent quality as well. As we welcome everyone listening wherever you may be and watching on Villa TV tonight. Best coverage, of course, of the game against the Magpies. Massive match in the quest for Champions League qualification coming tomorrow evening at VP. As this is forward by Miscure, Rowe, and now Amara Nalo, the skipper of Liverpool, just mops up. They will be aware of what's happening in the West Brom Middlesbrough game. Baggage the only team who could deny Liverpool a spot in the playoffs. Here now is a free kick scenario. Jimo Aloba making a nuisance of himself. Borland will be on dead ball duty. The captain in his bright boots. Plenty of cavalry forward here. Taylor's stayed back as the covering player, but even he's deep inside Liverpool territory. Katsukunya's obviously an option here, and Mosquera will be hoping to lend his aerial prowess to this set-piece scenario. It's going to be Borland to send it in. The floodlights are on here at Bodymore. Left of centre, right boot used, chips it up towards Mosquera, who gets the touch, and Katsukunya, his fellow defender, tries to direct it goalwards, just couldn't stretch and strain to good effect there, and it goes harmlessly behind. But Katsukunya was on target with a terrific header from a Alcott curving centre in the most recent outing. 9th minute, 0-0. Liverpool have struggled to get out of their own half so far. They'll be giving it everything and trying to extend their season, of course, as this is nearly into the little press box here. Good to see so many fans. I know it was a sellout, this, actually. I think obviously there's the draw of Liverpool, but also it's the fact that Villa have been going so well at first team level. It feeds and spreads all the way through the club when you have that positivity. Such a fabulous night, and nearly pulling off the incredible against PSG. Now it's with Doherty for Liverpool, their best moment of the game so far. They've got Young in the middle, Doherty driving forward, and he's won himself a free kick just outside the Villa penalty area, forced onto the back foot for the first time in this contest so far. The hosts, referee James Westgate, making sure it's taken from the right place. So it's going to be Tyler Morton to go over to take this one, the Liverpool number 6. Coming up to the 10-minute mark at Bodymore on this Good Friday night in Premier League 2, the final fixture of the season for Villa. It's going to be right boot of Morton. Nallo, skipper, forward from the back. Morton swings it in, and it is Nallo who meets it. Couldn't get the purchase or the connection he wanted, and it drifts away. But he rose, watched the flight well, didn't force the save from Ziyech on this occasion, but they'll take some encouragement from that, the visitors, having made a fairly slow start to the game, and that's down to the appetite, the application and endeavour shown by Villa so far, but no damage done from that set piece. I'd like to sign off the season with a maximum for certain. Quite a few near misses. They could easily have had more than the 2 early wins they've achieved. Here now comes McConnell through the middle, and Cone Doherty, quick feet, and it's pulled back. Oh, and he's not able to find the net there. Trey Neon, golden chance to break the deadlock there, but Villa now on the break, end-to-end stuff at Bodymore. Jimo Aloba latches onto this from Hemmings. He's got Kocher in the middle, Pavey's there as well. Jimo Aloba goes for glory himself, took a deflection, keeper wasn't able to collect it. It threatened to spin away from him there. Kocher was poised, ready, willing and able, trying to feed off the scraps there, but he just about managed to gather the ball at the second or third time of asking, but it was a bit scrappy from the Liverpool keeper. Good breakaway, quick on the counter there, slick and sharp, the villains. So action at both ends with Trey Nyon's effort blocked, and then Villa had the presence of mind to gather and motor forward immediately. They've got a free kick here. Cole Brannigan moves away. Again, he's going to be a key player in the FA Youth Cup final against Manchester City, as Villa look to win it for the 5th time. Borland, just a one-player wall for Liverpool. Borland sets himself, arcing in, looks a good one. Katsukunya's there as well, but it just pops up nicely for Cornel Miskew. But I think Joseph Gombau, the head coach, will be satisfied with the way Villa have gone about their business so far. This is played to Pilling, and now it's Liverpool's chance to maybe get something going with Trey Nyon, who came close to scoring moments ago. It's a good angle ball opportunity here for Liverpool to take lead. That's a great save, brilliant stuff from Olivier Ziyech to deny Ranel Young. He came right out to close down the angle. It was difficult for Young really to set himself. It was played in to his path by teammate Trey Nyon. Young raced forward, had to check back under pressure from Katsukunya. Thought he was going to find the corner, but Olivier Ziyech had other ideas. Good shot stopping from the Villa number 1, showing his ability there to put it behind for a corner. Right wing right boot. Outswinger. Header away by Katsukunya. Danger hasn't gone completely. Here's Rio Ngumoa for Liverpool. Bit of trickery. Oh, great work there by Kocher on defensive duty, showing his appetite for the cause. Jimo Aloba hoping to latch onto the pass by Brannigan, and away by Liverpool. But yeah, both teams playing with youthful exuberance and optimistic approach, both looking for goals as we approach the quarter hour at Bodymore on Villa TV. Premier League 2 action between the Villains and Liverpool. Still 0-0, but chances at both ends. Ziyech with a really good save to deny Young moments ago. Here's Borland, master of ceremonies. Jimo Aloba, Taylor, Mosquera. Calm on the ball, and a short presence, nicely clipped by Borland. Katsukunya combining with Tristan Rowe. Katsukunya diagonal, just too high for Jamaldine Jimo Aloba, a player who's shown there is a pathway up to senior level, having featured for the first team. So good to have that, so healthy for the football club. It's been fairly entertaining first chapter of this particular Premier League 2 story. For a final time, they were hoping to retain the Birmingham Senior Cup, but lost narrowly to Burton in the quarter-final. They won the first couple of matches, but did win it last year. Racing Club Warwick just pipped by it's Burton Tamworth actually the final this year. There's Mosquera, lets it bounce. And now it's with Pinnington into touch, and we still wait for the first goal of the game. But yeah, so much complimentary comment coming about Villa, rightly having produced that epic performance against the Ligue champions Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. Certainly whet the appetite for what's to come. So much excitement and drama for the first team and the juniors. Looking forward to the final women's game in the WSM as well. Still got 2 home games to come against Arsenal and Brighton in the Women's Super League at Villa Park. Played back now for Miskia, who's not really been required to make a serious save as yet. Kocher with the best chance just put it wide, and Jimo Aloba has been sowing the seeds of doubt. Knocked back by Pilling for Miskia in his yellow goalkeeping outfit. Katsukunya over to meet this one, being hassled and harried by Young, who I think when he put the shot in a couple of minutes ago thought he'd score, but Ziyech was able to pull off the stop to keep it level pegging. Throw in for Tommy Pilling now, the Liverpool number 5, right in front of the technical areas. Good work by Brannigan, but Nallo, tower of strength for Liverpool, finding fellow rearguard Rock Pinnington, and Davidson floats it forward hopefully, but he just hoists it straight into touch. And flag raised for a throw into the Villains. Came Taylor to take. I suppose in terms of under-21 matches, the best performances this season did come in the Virtue Trophy with senior help. Brilliant win. Fleetwood drew at Bolton, won on penalties, and fabulous effort in the knockout phase. Draw at Blackpool's Bloomfield Road against Steve Bruce's men, and then win an absolutely colossal penalty shootout by 18 goals to 17. It was phenomenal stuff, that, before losing to Bradford at Villa Park in the last 16. But yeah, they were the academy team to go the furthest in the competition, which was a brilliant effort. So many players have gone out on loan and shone in the EFL, and that does affect your results in Premier League too, of course, but also with senior call-ups and injuries, and the under-18s doing so. Well, the UEFA Youth League, another big factor. Great win over Bologna here, and brilliant away wins at Bruges, Leipzig and Puskas Academy before losing to Barcelona at Villa Park, and that was no disgrace, losing to that team. They did well that day. Here's the ball through the centre now by Morton, cut out well. Hemmings to pick out Katsukunya, slides it along the turf, lay off Pavey for Borland, looking to combine with Brannigan. Didn't quite happen there for Villa, and now it's with Young dropping deep to find Cone Doherty. Morton making a run in the middle, Cone Doherty pulling it across the face of goal. No suggestion of a foul there by Hemmings, who was just strong in the challenge. Possible break now with Kocher dropping deep to gather. Taylor and Brannigan in a bit of space. Good technique, immaculate from Borland as well. Rowe hits it high. Onside was Pavey, but it just bounced away from him. Good idea from Rowe. Pavey open to the challenge of moving in from the right, but out came Cornel Miscure. Past the 20-minute mark at Bodymore on Villa TV. It's 0-0 in the Premier League 2 between Aston Villa and Liverpool. Remember, pre-match thoughts of Unai Emery to come ahead of the massive game against Newcastle in the Premier League tomorrow at VP. Of course, then a trip to Manchester City in midweek before the FA Cup semi-final a week tomorrow against Crystal Palace. Certainly something to get your teeth into. Here's McConnell, the Liverpool number 8, just assessing and then sliding simply. Cone Doherty and Nyon collecting the ball. What's he got up his sleeve here? He plays it short for Young. Good work by Villa off the ball there. And now maybe they can cause a few issues for the Liverpool rearguard. Good to hear the encouragement from the fans for Charlie Pavey there, who elects to go back for Katsukunya, and now Mosquera for Zeish, who's hopeful of achieving a shutout. Really good stop to thwart Young earlier on. Approaching the midway point of the first half at Bodymore. Pavey and Zeish again. Slight lapse in concentration. And a throw in now for Liverpool. It'll be left for Tommy Pilling. Middlesbrough West Brom is currently 0-0. The only other game taking place tonight. These are the final matches. This one was rearranged actually because it clashed with Villa's FA Youth Cup semi-final with Plymouth, with many of the players being involved. Of course, they have often fielded a very young team in the Premier League 2 division. They've had to, Villa, this season, with so many players going out on loan. That's obviously a factor. As things stand, Liverpool are set for the playoffs, but if West Brom were to score in the other game, it would be the Baggies who would be in pole position to pip Liverpool, as that one just sails away from goal. Villa have had a good shape, well drilled, organised themselves nicely so far. It's been a tight contest. Both teams have had little mini good spells in the game. Villa began the better, looked the more cohesive, a fluent unit, but Liverpool have come back into it with a chance or two of their own. 0-0. Brannigan shielding the ball well from Pilling. Mosquera goes Pinnington, Jimo Aloba chasing that one down. Good contented chatter amongst the home supporters. Who's going to take this game by the scruff of the neck? Is there going to be a moment of magic to come, I wonder? Plenty of good talent on show. Free kick for Liverpool. Best opening, sculpted well by Nyon, fashioning the opening for Young, but there was Zeiss to meet him. Katsukunya finds Rowe, combines well there with Pavey. Rowe on one of his trademark surges, did really well there. Got the ball over towards Jamaldeen. Jimo Aloba into the penalty area. Could this be the moment for Villa to break the deadlock? Jimo Aloba, good save. Low to his right by the keeper, and then a good follow-up stop as well to foil Aston Villa. But that's really decent pressure. Double chance for the Villains. But Cornel Miskia between the posts for Liverpool did the job there. But Jimo Aloba has been at the heart of Villa's best moments in the game. Always looks good on the ball, set himself, might have taken a little deflection, saved by the keeper, and then Kane Taylor on the rebound, just couldn't guide it in from a tight angle. Decent double stop that by Cornel Miskia. Villa will feel they should be ahead. They've got a corner kick here from the left wing, right boot of ball and scooped up towards the back post. Up goes Katsukunya. He's always a threat when he looks to meet those. Thought he'd assess the flight, just hung in the air a little bit, but it goes behind for a goal kick. But that was a little mini purple patch for Villa. Definitely asking the questions. They've shown good determination and given away here. Jimo Aloba for Kocher back to goal. Hemmings manoeuvres it nicely. Katsukunya stayed forward and he'll go for glory. That's a terrific effort from the centre back, destined for the corner, but it's another stellar stop from Cornel Miskia. Katsukunya thought, well, I might as well buy a ticket, I might just win the raffle. He really got the laces through that one. The Villa number 4 generated splendid power on the ball there, but that's a very good bit of agile, strong goalkeeping by Cornel Miskia, who's been much the busier of the two keepers. But, well, it's been a very enterprising and entertaining 0-0 so far this game. Here's Ballin with another corner for Villa. This time it's clawed away at the near post by Miskia, who's done really well for Liverpool. He's had to, but it's been that sort of season in a way for Villa. They certainly haven't necessarily got the results they've deserved. They've been in most of the matches. They've carved out good scoring possibilities in the vast majority of them. They just haven't always shown that ruthless clinical edge. And Cornel Miskia can be very satisfied with his evening's work so far. He's been worked by Katsukunya's long range drive there. Jimo Aloba has tested him. Here now it's with Hemmings. Oh, he hits it left-footed first time. More good manoeuvring of the ball by Aston Villa. Manufacturing opportunities at a regular intervals here. Hemmings the latest to come close. This time he couldn't force a save from the keeper. He'll be disappointed that didn't find the corner. It made Liverpool look pretty ordinary at times here, Villa, but they just haven't had that ruthless clinical killer instinct, and that's what they'll be looking for in the remainder of the game. But they've had half a dozen good sights of goal. Some of them have tested the keeper, some of them have required saves from Miskia, others have just been either high or wide. Now it's Pavey finding the angle. Tristan Rowe's away for Villa now. That could spell danger for Liverpool. Rowe checks into the penalty area, left-footed, crosses deflected and then scrambled away. Can they produce in the final third? It's been the nearly story so far, what might have been for Villa. Here's Brannigan looking to make something happen. Like that touch paper. Now it's with Borland. Goes one way, then the other. Little layoff there by Brannigan for Pavey. Pavey head down, just losing his balance there as Morton went over. All Villa at the moment. They really are excelling, playing some sparkling football. is there a finish at the end of it? It's going to be Borland again, this time from the right wing, as we edge towards the half-hour mark at Bodymore. Borland prepares with the flag hanging limply in front of him. Aidan Borland headed away only as far as Tristan Rowe, with Hemmings behind him. Rowe will try and take them on. Trey Nyon back assisting the defensive effort for Liverpool. All hands to the pump. They'll probably be the... Yes, it was a good save by Zeiss to stop Young, but Liverpool will be the happier with the scoreline at the moment, given the way Villa have dominated the play and the chances. They've had the better of it, but that's not reflected in the scoreline a third of the way through this Premier League 2 contest. Live on Villa TV. Back now for Pavey in the centre, loses his footing, and it's Cone Doherty who's quick, gets the cross in, and it eludes Young, but not Nugamoa, whose effort is dealt with effectively, efficiently. And now Jimo Aloba trying to get the ball from under his feet, but McConnell emerges with it for Liverpool. Jimo Aloba showing some tenacity there. We know all about his flair, but he doesn't mind rolling his sleeves up, putting a shift in for the team. It's been a good collective display, this, but no goals to show for the hunger and desire and the quality they've shown so far from Aston Villa in this final game of the Premier League 2 campaign. Pavey. Now Morton for Liverpool. Pilling. Be interesting to find out actually whether they're going to be made aware of the other game at half time, because they do need to make sure they get a better result or equal West Brom's result tonight. They did start the day ahead of them. The Baggies 0-0 with Middlesbrough. From Villa's point of view, always want to end a season, however it's gone, on a high with a good performance. Of course, a lot of these players will still be involved in an intense programme for the under-18s in FA Youth Cup final, and of course all those league matches to look forward to. Mosquera judges well, heads for Taylor, and now Katsukunya mops up. Kocher only needs one chance, as we saw off the bench for Wilson the other night. Played in and just angled his shot, calm as you like, to get himself another goal. He's had a really good season. That was against his old club, of course, having joined from Sunderland. And now Villa have a free kick. Come on, the Villa is the cry from the Claret and Blue faithful in front of us here at Bodymore Heath. It's a free kick. Jimo Aloba with a good effort saved by Mischior, who foiled Taylor on the follow-up. He also saved sharply from a pile driver from Katsukunya, looking for a blockbuster to add to his headed goal the other night. Kocher has also put one wide. Hemmings as well. Had half a dozen good attacking situations, at least, Villa so far, but it remains 0-0, 33 gone. Borland with the clip, wasn't able to gather the keeper, and then Rowe on the follow-up just snatched at the shot, scuffed it rather, skewed off the boot. No scoring joy, but I suppose that, you know, we all watched that amazing Masters finale, to use a golfing analogy. Not very good from tee to green so far. They just haven't found that winning putt. But it's a nice evening for football. They're strutting their stuff. They play with a spring in the step, a certainty to their build-up play for sure. Katsukunya lofts it forward. Pavey's away for Aston Villa now. He's got Rowe behind him. Pavey holds on to it and just squeezes it over for Aidan Borland, always seems to be available, wanting the ball, prompting and probing. Will this break for Brannigan? No. Liverpool keep their shape and gather the ball deep inside their own half. It's Ngumoa and McConnell for captain Nallo, and they work that well, did Liverpool. Patient Davidson for Cone Doherty. Good game this, 0-0. They are carrying a threat on the counter. Doherty, really good running. How about this from the number 7? Still going. Will he go all the way for Liverpool here? No. And the shot is driven in low by Young. Good save by Zeich. His second impressive stop of this first half. It's been mainly Villa, but Liverpool have looked good on the break. That was driven in low, but Zeich was equal to it. He was alert, good presence of mind. After a great slaloming run by Cone Doherty, that was stopped. But on the follow-up, Young hit it in low. That was going in. Saw it late, did Zeich, but showed an agility, an awareness, good positioning, and produced another telling save to keep the scoreline at 0-0 into the final 10 minutes of an intriguing first half. It's been compelling, riveting fare. Here's the shot, goes towards a ruck of bodies, does Ngumoa. Now it's Villa on the break, and this is where they can be so dangerous. Kocher wants the pass. Will Hemmings go it alone? Well, he tried to take on Davidson. The covering defender did a really good sweeping up job there, and he had to for Liverpool. And now it's Liverpool. Can't take your eyes off this for a moment. Here's McConnell with the pivot. Borland commits the foul. And, well, a mystery how this is still 0-0 really, when Zeich has made 2 really good saves, both from Young, one from close range, the other from a longer distance. But Villa with a series of good openings of their own. But 2 very good keepers on show tonight have shown their worth for their respective teams. Free kick for the team from Merseyside. Of course, their seniors closing in on the Premier League title, so we talk about Villa having a feel-good factor. Liverpool have got that as well. Didn't go as far as Villa in the Champions League though. Lost to PSG in the last 16. But they are closing in on another top-flight title with a big buffer between themselves and Arsenal in second. They could win it as soon as this weekend. Certainly in the next round of matches you'd expect it to happen for Arne Slot's first season. Barry Lutas is their under-21 head coach. Villa's head coach at this level, Joseph Gombau. I think he'll have been really pleased with the way his team played tonight, but just disappointed they haven't been able to turn the dominance at times into goals. But Liverpool have given the classic away display. They've soaked up the pressure, had their luck at times, a good keeper, but they've also looked very sharp on the counter, carving out 2 very good chances for Ranald Young. Back for Zeich, wasn't put a foot or a glove wrong so far. Nice piece of distribution as well for Tristan Rowe. Rowe for Pavey, he'll stick a boot out. Rowe keeps it going, but over go Nallo and Nyon. Referee blows his whistle. He's kept it moving nicely. The ref, James Westgate, we haven't needed the physios. It's been a good advert for youth football so far in Premier League 2. And always good to bring you the home matches here at Bodymoor for the under-21s in their entirety, live and uninterrupted on Villa TV. Youth Cup final to look forward to. Under-18s, of course, best coverage of the women's team as well in the closing stages of the WSL season. Best of luck in the away game at Spurs after a brilliant, crucial win at Liverpool in the last away game. That was a massive 3 points for Natalia Arroyo's team, making her mark as boss, recent appointment. And remember, Unai Emery coming up at half-time talking about the men's first team against Newcastle. It's going to be another fabulous atmosphere, I'm sure, at Villa Park, as it was for the Champions League. Here now is Pavey winning the header. Brannigan hoping to get on the end of that, but it's just shepherded towards his keeper by Pilling. Are we going to see a goal, the back end of what's been an interesting, enthralling at times first half of football? Doherty making the run. It's played now for Nugamoa, who'll drive it in low and into the corner, and Liverpool have the lead. Ziyech couldn't get to that one. It's the number 11, Rio Nugamoa, got free into the penalty area, set himself and drove it low and true, unerringly. It's tough on Villa. They've had good chances in this game, haven't been able to take them. And it's Rio who comes up trumps for Liverpool. It's been a tight affair. They played some good stuff here, Villa, but it's the visitors who take the lead, needing a win to be sure of their place in the playoffs, and they're on course for that now. Villa will look for a reaction in the remainder of this game. They've not been clinical. Liverpool were there, and they get their noses in front with just over 5 minutes left of the first half. Rio Nugamoa finding a way past Olivier Ziyech. You knew it was going to take a very good finish to beat him. It was a good run forward, ball played towards him. He showed composure, calmness, efficiency and accuracy with the finish. Villa 0, Liverpool 1. And it's really been a tale of the Premier League 2 season for Villa, actually. They've played some very good football at times, but they just haven't been able to churn out the results. There have been mitigating factors, as we've mentioned. You can't win everything. They've done so well in other competitions at youth level. Here now is McConnell. Liverpool with the tails up. They've been given that extra bit of buoyancy and vibrancy by the goal from Rio Nugamoa. After Young was denied twice by the excellence of Ziyech, there was no chance for him to keep that one out as it flew past him rapidly. 4 minutes plus stoppage time for Villa to try and find an equalising goal. We'll bring you those Villa chances at half-time in case you've missed them. Played some good football tonight, as well as the Unai Emery press conference. And of course, the remainder of this game live on Villa TV. Can Villa find a way back into it? It's with Brannigan for Katsukunya. Brannigan again, over halfway. He's got Rowe to his right. Brannigan will charge forward. Tristan Rowe now gets the cross in, but good work by Tommy Pilling. Yes, Tommy is the cry from the away technical area. They were very pleased with the defensive work of Tommy there. Rowe with the throw. And it goes low. Brannigan. Borland. The engine room. Just keeps things moving, doesn't he? Hemmings enjoys playing with him in the middle. Hemmings again into the final 3 minutes of the first 45. Rio Nugamoa's goal for Liverpool, scored a couple of minutes ago, separates the sides. Villa had enjoyed the better of it before that, but found Cornel Miscure in good shot-stopping form in the Liverpool goal. Rowe racing, got an abundance of energy, hasn't he, as he gallops, canters down that right side. But it's with Miscure, who's probably been Liverpool's best player so far, which shows you how well Villa have played. It's perhaps a bit tough on them, but football can be cruel. I remember the Youth League game when they lost to Bayern Munich here in the season. Villa played so well, but it was just that one moment that Bayern had. But you knew that Villa would do well in the competition subsequently. They played so well, and they went on to chalk up really good wins. 3 in the group phase, and then 1 against Puskás Academy in Hungary in the knockouts. That was under 19s in Europe, hoping for another tilt at the Youth League if the seniors can qualify for the Champions League again. The under 21s here trailing 1-0. It's been Jimo Aloba playing the pass now for Kocher on the left. Kocher moving in field now. He'll look to pick out Brannigan. Over goes Nallo. And now Borland on the volley, but he drags it well wide. Borland just didn't have the time he wanted. Pulled the trigger, but pulled the shot away from goal. And the fourth official, Wayne Gray, will soon be telling us how much stoppage time. We won't get more than a couple of minutes maximum, I wouldn't have thought. But Cornel Miskia, who's been worked regularly, but they just haven't found that quality in the finish to register in the goals column. It's Rio Nugamoa who did manage to hit the back of the net. Mosquera away. Could see him getting a start. Kane Taylor unable to prevent it from rolling out of play. Closing seconds of the first 45. Liverpool have really had to grind this one out so far, but they'll be delighted with the scoreline. Throw in for Davidson. Pilling. Goal scorer Nugamoa wanted it, and he does get the ball at his feet. Pilling again in front of Pavey. And now Nyon, Davidson, and now Cone Doherty. They want a second goal here. Gets into the penalty area, stumbles. It's a corner kick, but he's so menacing, isn't he? Almost quicker with the ball at his feet than without, isn't he? The number 7, Cone Doherty's had a really good. He's been an excellent outlet, an option for them to relieve the pressure and get the team forward. And it's Liverpool who are going to end the half in the ascendancy. They're a goal up, they want to double it. Just the 1 minute, and we're deep inside that. Right wing corner. Morton on dead ball duty. Low towards the near post, it's flicked on, and it'll be another corner. So Villa are still going to have to do a little bit more defending to make sure they don't go too behind here. That would be a travesty, really, given the game in general. Villa have the better of it, but find themselves in arrears. But it's only a slender advantage, and they'll look to bounce back after the break. They've just got to make sure they deal with this corner. This will be the last action of the first half. Rio Nugamoa with the goal from close range into the corner. Villa with very good chances in the match. In it comes, outswinger. The header just zooms high over the bar. I think the referee will probably blow his whistle when the ball is back in play. Plenty to ponder as Josep Gombau considers his half-time team talk. There is the half-time whistle at Bodymoor in Premier League 2. Villa's under-21s with it all to do in the second half. They played some good football here, but found Cornel Miskia in very good goalkeeping form in the Liverpool goal, and Rio Nugamoa found a way past Olivier Zeich after Zeich made good saves from Young earlier on. So first half highlights coming up, and Unai Emery's pre-match press conference ahead of the first team's game against Newcastle tomorrow. But at the break here at Bodymoor, it's Villa's under-21s 0, Liverpool 1. As for Liverpool, they've got Cornel Miskia, who's been very busy in goal and done everything asked of him. Pulled off some really good saves actually in that first half. The outfield players, Josh Davidson, Carter Pinnington, the captain Amara Nallo, Tommy Pilling, Tyler Morton, Trent Cone-Doherty has been a real live wire. James McConnell, Ranel Young, Trey Neon, and the goal scorer Rio Nugamoa. Their bench, Kirill Figueroa, Reece Truman, James Balagis, Isaac Mabaya and Michael Laffey. The referee is James Westgate, assisted by linesman Joseph Larkin and William Vaughan. The fourth official, Wayne Gray. Great to hear from Unai Emery at half-time. Thanks to him for sharing his thoughts in his pre-match press conference, talking to the media earlier again ahead of a huge match against Newcastle in the quest for Champions League football next season, coming tomorrow night. Also, it was great to see the highlights, wasn't it, from midweek, and that remarkable effort from Villa against Paris Saint-Germain at a noisy Villa Park. The fans certainly played their part. Brilliant stuff. Here now in Premier League 2, it's angle forward for Tristan Rowe, with darkness descending in the West Midlands. It's been dry since we started, little bit of rainfall but not too much earlier on. Pavey, tight little spot here for Villa with Rowe, and now Brannigan looking to do some damage. Picking up the loose ends is Katsukunya, who with a real rip snorter absolute humdinger of a shot in the first half, which tested the shot-stopping expertise of Cornel Miscuit. He passed that particular examination with flying colours. Second minute of the second half. Jack Woodward talking you through the action on Villa TV tonight. Great to have your company on a busy weekend of Easter football. Best of luck to the under-18s tomorrow at Spurs, the women's team at Spurs on Sunday. Massive game in the WSL, and of course the first team, the men's, tomorrow at Villa Park against Newcastle. It's all happening, and the best coverage, of course, on Villa's channels. Now it's with Yoma Mosquera. Liverpool needing a win here to be certain of getting in the playoffs. Villa can't make it this year. They did get in superbly last season, right at the end with Swinkles' goal at Newcastle, but this season they won't be there. Here now is Jamaldine Jimmo in Loba, trying to catch out the keeper, Miscuit perhaps, but unable to do so as it just drifts and ripples through the side netting. Villa's, they do have good options on the bench with Fortes, who's been flying down the flank for the under-18s in the Youth Cup. Amundsen Day, the defender, Simpson and Lani Edwards can make things happen as well, so they might choose to bring on their outfield subs later on as Mosquera, towering leap. Imperious there, winning that particular header, but it's back with Miscuit. It's going to take something special, I think, to beat the Liverpool keeper tonight. Man on is the cry from the sidelines to alert Trey Nyon, who's played his part in this compact, effective Liverpool display so far. West Brom 0-0 with Middlesbrough in the other game tonight. Final matches of what's been another absorbing Premier League 2 season. And we brought you all the Villa home matches live on this channel. It's with Ziyech now, looking for an option, but working so hard, aren't they, off the ball, pressing Villa when they haven't got possession. Liverpool making life as difficult as possible. Brannigan now for Pavey, picks up a good pocket of space. To his right is Rowe, he goes the other way, and Brannigan. This is good work from Villa. Is there something at the end of it? No, it's more excellent defensive work by Liverpool. They're really having to show their quality in the rearguard heap to keep Villa at bay. Now it's Trent Cone-Doherty, who loves running with the ball at his feet, but ran into a cul-de-sac there. Door slammed firmly shut in the face. Villa exploring every avenue, an attempt to make it 1-1, but Liverpool want the insurance of a second goal, and they might create something here. It's well worked, and the low shot is blocked this time. And Villa breaking with Pavey and Brannigan with Kocher further forward. 5th minute of the second half. It remains Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 1. Rio Gamoa with a very smart piece of finishing just before the break. Here now is Hemmings, who had a good chance to score in the first half. Taylor charged down. Davidson has had a good night, but they have won a corner. Got forward well there, did Taylor. Two very attack-minded fullbacks Villa have in the lineup for certain. And they're going to have a corner kick. I think Pavey's going to take this one. Borland has stayed on the edge of the penalty area. So first corner for Villa of this second half, past the 50-minute mark, as they look to get a foothold back in the contest. It's going to be the number 7, Charlie Pavey, from the left wing with the right boot. Fantastic playing surface, great stuff from the ground staff as always here at Bodymore. In it comes towards Jamaldine Jimmo Aloba, who leapt. He has got good finishing ability with his head. We've seen that a few times in his Villa career so far, but it just went above him, and hasn't quite happened for Villa so far tonight. Young for Liverpool. Want the cushion of a second, fell to the turf there, much to the disappointment, disenchantment of the fans. That decision going against Aston Villa. And Liverpool know that if it stays like this, they don't have to worry about the game between West Brom and Middlesbrough. Good system actually to have for the top 16 in the playoffs. You get to play lots of different opponents as well. If you're a Category 1 academy, as most of these clubs are, always something special, isn't there, when you just say the names of Aston Villa and Liverpool, two giants of the English game, two past European champions. It's a free kick for the Villains, deep inside their own half though. Cunha for Borland, who always likes to gather from the defenders to get things going. Liverpool have got this game where they want it, inside the Villa half of the pitch now. Happy for the clock to tick away. There will be away. If you finish between 9th and 16th, you're away in the one-off elimination, last 16 tie. They'll just want to be in them. Here's Hemmings for Jamaldine Jimo Aloba, always good in a tight spot. Fantastic technical player. Finds Brannigan, and now Pavey on the right. Gives it back to Brannigan, the Villa number 10. Charge down, falls for Cunha. All the Villa outfield players deep inside the Liverpool half, showing their positive attitude here. Here's the chip towards Brannigan. Haven't really built up a head of steam. They look to take this bull by the horns and try and find a way past a spirited, plucky and well-drilled Liverpool rearguard, who do have some attacking sparkle of their own, as we saw with the goal from Ngumoa. But overall, Villa with the greater chances in the first period, but it wasn't reflected in the goal-scoring stakes, as Taylor wins the header. Hoovering up nicely there is Hemmings, showing good balance to glide away from Cone Doherty. And now Kocher holding it up. Good layoff that for Taylor. Further forward is Jimo Aloba. Knocks it for Jimo Aloba on the left wing. Gives it back to Taylor. Really good attack. This from Villa. Is there something at the end of it? Pavey controls. Lays it off for Borland, who strikes it in. Keeper isn't able to claim. Danger hasn't gone. And it's kept alive as the ball comes in, and they do have the goal. And they thoroughly deserve it as well. Really nicely finished by Charlie Pavey. He's a very good technical player, kept his composure, tight angle, he just floated it past the keeper. That's delightful stuff from Charlie, who sparkled in Hungary in the Youth League against the Puskás Academy earlier in the season. Now he does it on the final day of the Premier League 2 season for Aston Villa. They're deservedly level. They played some good football tonight, and Charlie Pavey just kept his composure there. It was a terrific attack initially down the left-hand side involving Taylor and Jimo Aloba. They weren't able to clear as they wanted. It was laid off for Borland. The shot, it was spilled by the keeper. Brannigan kept it alive, had the presence of mind to roll it for Pavey. First time, right-footed, just curled it past the keeper, who was well off his goal line, and it's 1-1. And congratulations there to Charlie Pavey. Villa will hope it's not the final game of their Premier League 2 season, but they forced their way back into this one nicely. And it was good, persistent attacking play that led to that goal. As Barry Lutas, the Liverpool head coach, right on the edge of his technical area. Josip Gombau just taking it in. He'll have probably stressed the importance of starting the half well when they went into the changing rooms at half time, and he'll be absolutely thrilled that they've hauled themselves back to parity with still 35 minutes left of this game, so still ample time to go on and win it here. Villa have the tails up, they've got the momentum as the balance of power has shifted. The pendulum swung the way of Liverpool before the break, and now after the break it's gone back to Villa. 1-1. Here's Young. I think there are going to be more goals in this game. Neither team ever settles for a level scoreline in this roller coaster of emotion that is the Youth League. And it's been pulsating stuff at times. It's had more thoughtful periods as well. It's ebbed and it's flowed. Both teams will feel capable of getting a maximum return. Middlesbrough 1-0 up on West Brom. Liverpool will be very pleased with that scoreline because they are just above West Brom in the quest for that final playoff place. So if that stayed the way, they'd be in the playoffs. But Villa want to end with a win here. They're level. Here's the shot low. Good save. Smashed in by Nyon. along the turf. That was destined for the corner, but it's a third fine stop of the night by Zeish. And now it's up the other end. Pavey gathering from Brannigan. He's already got one goal, Pavey. Brannigan. Those two definitely on the same wavelength. Showing good communication levels. Villa having a good spell in the game, and there's more goals in this, surely. Liverpool attacking now, wanting to restore their advantage. They're being pegged back. Angle ball. Young onside here, being followed by Mosquera. Young trying to manoeuvre it for a shot. Slides it back for McConnell now. Makes the run. McConnell goes down, but nothing from the referee. Felt he was perhaps looking for it. McConnell making the burst, dropping to the turf. There was heart in the mouth time from Villa's point of view there, but no whistle from the ref. Well, what a gripping second half it's been so far. Jimo Aloba taking on Pinnington. He'll back himself to beat him, but Pinnington's a decent defender. Back for Taylor, who played his part in the build-up to the Villa goal. As did several of the Villa players, actually. Pavey paving the way, perhaps, for a closing night win. Started the campaign, first home game with a three-pointer. They'd love to end it and certainly give them some positive thoughts going into the summer break. Of course, many of these players will still be involved with the under-18s. In a hectic end to the campaign, Hemmings, excellent balance, got the ball away for Taylor, who gets there first. He showed good hunger and appetite there to get there. And now it's with Hemmings. 58 gone, 1-1. Villa roaring back into this. Charlie Pavey with the second half equaliser. Sumptuous connection, right-footed. Ball kept alive after ball and shot was spilled by Miscure. It was a rare lapse from an excellent keeper, but Villa profited. They were hungry, they were ready, they were poised, just loitering with intent in the box, and Pavey produced the golden touch. Here now is Mosquera for Zeish, who hasn't been overly busy in the second half, and Villa will hope that continues. But I'm sure a lot of fans watching this won't have seen too much of Mosquera, so it's good to get the chance to see what he's all about. Playing alongside Katsakunya in the middle as we edge towards the hour. Pavey, clearly lifted by the goal, buzzing around. Good confidence boost to hit the back of the net. Here's Hemmings, strong on the ball. Oh, brilliant stuff from the number 8. Can he get the shot away? Hemmings, good save by the keeper. Will it be in on the follow-up? It will. And Aston Villa have the advantage. It's him again, the fox in the box. Mason Kocher with yet another goal. He's had a fabulous season for the under-18s, under-19s in the Youth League, and now in Premier League 2. He scores in back-to-back games. He netted against his old club, Sunderland. Hemmings did so well in the build-up, rifled in the shot, saved by Miscure, but there, ready, willing and able to gobble up the loose ball was Mason Kocher, just sharpening up his shooting skills for the remainder of the under-18s season in League and FA Youth Cup final as well. What a turnaround here. Villa have shown good character and resilience. What they've shown in the second half is that clinical killer instinct that maybe they didn't have in the first half. They lacked the cutting edge, but they've shown it big style in the first 15 minutes of this second half. They levelled through Pavey and then Mason Kocher with a typical striker's goal, really. The initial shot was saved, but he was poised, loitering with intent, and he dispatched the ball with aplomb. It's 2-1 to Villa. Mason Kocher with number 2. Magic marksman Mason does the trick again. Scored a brilliant hat-trick in the FA Youth Cup. Villa were 2-0 down to Bristol City in the 5th round, but it was sensational second half. The assist from Burrows was brilliant in the goal in stoppage time. Watch that on the highlights if you get a chance on Villa TV. And he scored in the rout of Accrington, 6-0 in round 3, 4-0 win at Newcastle at Whitley Park round 4, and he played an important role even though he didn't score against Plymouth, and got the job done against Manchester United in the semi-final. But Kocher showing his worth. It's something else, isn't it, for these players? Obviously he's done it at a lower age group, but doing it in the under-21 league against a good Liverpool side. That'll give him a lift. Here come Liverpool now. They want a second goal of their own. Villa need to try and clear their lines. And they last gasp, they just about got it away. And then Tristan Rowe shows some composure. A frantic, frenetic period of play. It's been fast and frenzied at times. It really has got us right on the edge of our seats. It's been a cracking game of Premier League 2 football, this. And, well, whatever Joseph Gombau said at the break has worked an absolute treat, because his team just settled themselves, steadied themselves into this second half, and they've hit Liverpool with a double whammy. Initially, good attack down the left, broke for Borland, his shot was spilled, kept alive, and there was Pavey to clip home. And then moments ago, just before the hour mark, George Hemmings with a typical trademark bursting run, shot saved, and there was Kocher to gather the loose ball. Here now come Liverpool. Well, this could turn into another thriller. We're used to seeing those, having witnessed that sensational game at Villa Park in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain. And now in Premier League 2 now, Liverpool's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread here. At the moment, they're relying on Middlesbrough beating West Brom, as the last time I heard they were. So they are going to stay in that 16th spot. Villa aren't going to get in the playoffs this year, but it will be a really nice fillip for them, give them a lovely tonic. Certainly the players who aren't eligible for the Youth Cup. This is their final competitive game of the season, so they'll want to see it out. But here come Liverpool. Good defending there by Katsukunya, perfectly positioned to intervene. Fine interception from him. 63 gone, Villa 2, Liverpool 1. Remember, Liverpool led 1-0 at the break, but Pavey and Kocher turn the tables on them. Villa want more goals. They won't just settle for the 2. They'll want the insurance of a third. But here come Liverpool now with Nyon. He's got Young in the middle. Slides it back for Morton. And again, the Liverpool number 6 pivots, considers, and spreads the play for Josh Davidson, advancing fullback. Davidson now into the feet of Morton. Patient build-up here from Liverpool, but Villa really determined, fully focused to now protect their lead. It's Liverpool who are chasing the game. Back for Miscule. Thou shalt not pass. He was a real tough nut to crack, wasn't in the first half, but in the second he's been beaten twice. Now Hemmings is given a good all-action, exemplary central midfield display. Mosquera floats it forward, good angle. Oh, and he's just offside there, the flag raised, but applause from Joseph Gombau. He was very happy with that long-range ball. Lovely flight on it, just strayed at Jimo Aloba, wasn't much in that. We've had 20 minutes of the second half. It's been a really productive 20 minutes as well for the Villains. They've scored twice, they've carried a threat constantly, and it's Liverpool now have to try and think about how they're going to get themselves level. Here's Ngamoa, who set the ball rolling for them with the goal. Maybe both bosses starting to think about substitutes. I think Villa are going to bring on Alani Edwards. So first shuffling of the pack from the technical areas. Approaching the midway point of the second half of what's been another really enjoyable game of Premier League 2 football, the final one of the season for you on Villa TV. Here's Hemmings and Mosquera being closed down by Cone-Doherty. Taylor, Jimo Aloba, good battle that between him and Pinnington. Kocher, scorer of Villa's second, keeps it in play, slides the pass now for Pavey. Pavey, lovely turn, plays the pass now for Tristan Rowe. Rowe, Brannigan's behind him, he uses him, left-footed. Pavey with the chip, wants it back, really thoughtful build-up again, didn't quite produce at the end of it as Ilani Edwards is stripped off and ready to come on. I wonder who will replace as we edge towards the final quarter of the contest. Foul there by Morton on Hemmings, and should be able to make this substitution. Just final words of encouragement from Joseph Gombaus, proved a really good head coach at this level for Aston Villa, and he's going to replace Cole Brannigan. Brannigan with big games to come, of course, in the remainder of the season. He's been a vital cog in the wheel in the Youth Cup. He's done well tonight, playing the pass for Pavy's opening goal, and he can go and have a breather and think about what's to come. But Ilani Edwards is going to get a decent chunk of this game to show what he's about. He'll look to make an impact off the bench. Edwards on, Brannigan replaced. But Brannigan has played a big part in this second half revival. And when you consider Villa had the better of the game in the first half, really, they you definitely say even without our claret and blue tinted spectacles, you'd say Villa are a good value for the lead. The Liverpool technical area might disagree with that, but they'll certainly believe they're still capable of getting a result here. Any of the three outcomes still possible. Backed by Mosquera for his keeper, Olivier Zeiss. Katsukunya lifts it for Tristan Rowe, always a good option, eating up the turf. Rapid, sharp, full of desire, and lots of ability in those boots. Liverpool with those white shirts shining under the floodlights, illuminating the field of play. We're going to have a double switch here for Liverpool, just freshening things up, trying to ask them different questions. It was looking good for them at half time, but now they find themselves behind. Here's Cone Doherty. It's going to be James Balaguiz and Isaac Mabaya, the 14 and 15, who will come on momentarily. Again, they've got time to make an impact, for sure. Throw in for Villa, and Kane Taylor prepares himself and then launches up towards that halfway line. Cone Doherty and McConnell involved. Here's Edwards. First contribution is good, neat and tidy, releasing Rowe down that right hand side again. Borland, just the glue that holds together this team. They've looked good. Borland and Hemmings in the middle. Great stuff this from Ilani Edwards, just what you want from your substitute. Dancing feet. And now Taylor into the box. Could have gone anywhere, that just deflects up for Hemmings. Strong in the challenge, robust, competitive, combative. He's got tenacity, but he's also got so much technical talent. Here's Katsukunya striding over that halfway line. Haven't been able to make the double change yet, the Liverpool coaches. Now Katsukunya again. They've had quite a few near misses this season, Villa. They'd love to go out and get the 3 points just to make a statement going into the next campaign. And fourth official Wayne Gray's just fiddling with the board, so we are going to have this double change. One of the players coming off is Josh Davidson, who's done well getting forward and at the back tonight. And James McConnell, the other player, being withdrawn. So Davidson and McConnell off. On come James Balaguiz and Isaac Mabaya. And immediately they are trying to get their foot on the ball. Here come Villa now with Kocher. He's not just a finisher, is he? He works so hard off the ball and on it. This one is played diagonally for Cone Doherty. Is he going to take on Taylor here? Cone Doherty on the overlap is the sub. Mabaya gets in the cross, but just onto the pitch, asking a lot of him to pick out a teammate there. He just was a little bit too happy with that. Did well to get onto the pass though from Cone Doherty. Still lots of football to play here, and Liverpool looking to level. In comes the cross, but it's too close to Zeiss, who collects comfortably and then bowls it out like a crown green bowler into the path of Hemmings. Hemmings has been excellent. Ilani Edwards, sharp as a tack, right as a button since coming on. Ilani Edwards, and now here they go again with Borland. First time seeking out Kocher. Needs no second invitation. Didn't quite happen. 18 to go. Live on Villa TV from Bodymore. Premier League 2, final game of the campaign for Villa's under-21s. Put in a really good display so far. Shining under the lights. Here's Borland with the chip. Rowe, always available. And just having a little passing sequence here. Villa inside the Liverpool half. Katsukunya, ambitious and controlled well by Jimo Aloba. He always controls well. Lovely balance, excellent stuff from Jimo Aloba. Floats it up. Took two of them, and now Borland controls. Taylor. Jimo Aloba. It's back from whence it came. Jimo Aloba curls it just behind Rowe, who was poised, and it just flies away from him, and Liverpool are going to make another change. They've just brought on Balaguiz and Mabaya. Kirol Figueroa is going to get an opportunity as well. Villa still have the likes of Rodrigo Fortes, Ethan Amundsen-Day and Ewan Simpson at their disposal. Headed away by Katsukunya. Borland back for the defender. Katsukunya in front of Young, loitering in his slipstream. Borland gathers and distributes. Katsukunya and Rowe trying to combine with Edwards, but they've lost their way there. And here come Liverpool trying to punish them for giving the ball away. Katsukunya goes over to try and get there, but the visiting outfit keep the ball, but then the shot flies over the bar. Too much on that one. Kocher couldn't get to the ball, but no harm done, and Figueroa will come on for Ranel Young. He was foiled twice by Zeiss in the first half. Worked hard up top for Liverpool. He goes to have a breather, and Figueroa on for him. Approaching the final quarter of an hour at Bodymore. Liverpool scoring towards the end of the first half through Rio Nugamoa, but Villa bouncing back in the second. Pavey with the first and Kocher with the second. Been a very productive campaign for Mason Kocher, and that continues tonight. Has he got a few more up his sleeve in big games to come in League and Cup for the under-18s? But here come Liverpool with Figueroa involved straight away, and the shot into the corner, and it's him again, Rio Nugamoa, his second of the night. The pendulum swings again, and it's 2-2. He scored towards the end of the first half. Villa lost the ball, and Nugamoa has shown a real striker's instinct in this game, as it was collected well. Instant impact from Figueroa off the bench, gathered the ball, back-heeled pass. What an assist that is from the sub. Talk about making an impact fresh from coming on. Figueroa teeing up Rio Nugamoa, who did the rest, and it's 2-2. It's been a thrilling game, rather like last time out against Sunderland, which was a sharing of the spoils. That finished on as even. They shared 4 goals, and this is 2-2 again. Villa were behind, then they got their noses in front, but now they've been paid back to 2-2. And it's the same scorer for Liverpool. But Barry Lutas will be thrilled with the way Figueroa came on, keen to impress, and he did just that. Still had work to do, did Nugamoa, but it was a very crisp, precise, emphatic and convincing piece of finishing. Here's Borland for Ilani Edwards, who's shown some good touches since coming on. Rowe and Pavey. Good defending though. Looked like they were going to open them up, and here come Liverpool again with Balaguise. Balaguise being closed down well by Hemmings. So he had to change his focus there, did one of the substitutes. But, well, it's a tough one to call, isn't it? Either team could go on and win this. Neither will settle for 2-2, that's for certain. Pennington. Liverpool buoyed by the equaliser. Enterprising stuff from both sides. Villa have played some swashbuckling, buccaneering football this season, but haven't always got what they've deserved in terms of the results. But that's part of their education, isn't it? It's closing out results as well as producing free-flowing football. Pennington, so they'll take a lot of lessons from this 20-game league campaign. Threaded forward, thought about coming out for that Zeich, he didn't need to in the end. Tristan Rowe over to get there and then fire forward. Pressure applied. All the outfield players inside the Villa half of the pitch into the final 12 minutes at Bodymore. It's been a real seesaw contest, this. Both teams had chances before Liverpool seized the initiative before the break, but Villa showed terrific attitude and ability to turn it round to get 2-1 ahead before conceding moments ago. Here now is Pennington for Cone Doherty, and now Morton glides away from Hemmings, but over goes Ilani Edwards to make himself a nuisance. Nyon to that left side, more quick feet but not matched by the finish. However, it was blocked, took a touch off Rowe I think, and it's a corner kick for Liverpool. So they'll look to get a menacing ball whipped into the box here. Villa just organising themselves. Tyler Morton with the responsibility from the set piece. He's placed it oh so carefully. He's taken it short and low for Nyon to float one into the danger zone. Danger hasn't quite gone. Bit of head tennis. Villa getting it away. Possible break now with Kocher. Always a good outlet. Always alert to the situation. Good sliding challenge on Kocher though. And here come Liverpool again. On the charge. Figueroa has really caught the attention. Ball over now to Cone Doherty, who took a bit of a fresh air shot, and Villa will be thankful that he didn't connect with that one. It was a wild swing at the ball from Trent Cone Doherty, but he didn't quite show the right foot quality of the other Trent. Now Villa making a change. Charlie Pavey, goal scorer tonight, took it really nicely to get Villa going in this game really, making it 1-1 before the second goal from Kocher. But Pavey being applauded by some of his squad mates, fans and staff here at Bodymoor. Good stuff from Charlie. Going to be happy with his contribution. And Ewan Simpson gets his opportunity to try and help Villa to a positive result here, but it's a fine showing that from Pavey. So Liverpool have introduced Figueroa, who did get an assist for one of the goals. Balaguis and Mabaya. Villa have brought on Edwards and now Simpson. Here's Taylor, hoping to guide the header on for Jimo Aloba, couldn't quite achieve that. Throw in for Liverpool. Mabaya. Mascara sticks out a boot. Simpson tries to win it, but in goes Balaguis for nigh on. And it's nigh on impossible to predict the winner here. Rowe for Casacuña being he's being put under a lot of pressure there, but he was very calm in a tight spot, which is what you want from your central defender. Yeah, as always in these matches, the subs are really making their mark. Cone Doherty takes a tumble and wins his team a free kick just outside the penalty area, so they'll get the likes of Pinnington forward for this. Up goes captain Amara Nallo as well, and Liverpool hoping to take a lead for the second time. They scored the first goal of the night. Now they'd love to score the final one, but there's still over 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining of this Premier League 2 contest, and Liverpool know they might still need a result here to be sure of their playoff spot. Although Middlesbrough are currently leading West Brom. Tyler Morton with a one-player wall. It's going to be right-footed, hoping to pick out a teammate. Villa focused on keeping them at bay. The referee just dealing with a little bit of jostling, bit of argy-bargy in the box perhaps, as they jockey for position. Here he goes then. Morton hangs it high to the back post. One header is one, then it's through a ruck of bodies and it's just squeezed wide, and nothing to concern Zeich on this occasion. Villa worked so hard to get their noses in front, but it's two fairly evenly matched sides, you'd say. Villa had the majority of their really good chances in the first half. Here's Mosquera down. Liverpool are claiming a foul on Figueroa. He's been a real handful, hasn't he? Tristan Rowe looks to take that one in his stride. Back goes Ewan Simpson. Won their fair share of 50-50s here, Villa, but now it's with Liverpool on the charge. The shot comes in, takes a little deflection. They've won another corner, and it's Liverpool who've had a really good, strong spell. You have to admire the way, after they went 2-1 down, they've rolled their sleeves up. They've shown that camaraderie, that collective energy to turn the tide again. It's kept switching, it's kept changing the balance of power in this game. It's made it captivating stuff. Final five. Left wing corner for Liverpool, taken short. He's on a hat-trick, Nugamoa. Is he going to get the shot away here? No, he's going to play the pass, and it's always going over the bar. That would have been perfect as a conversion in the Six Nations, but not so much with the round ball at Bodymoor in Premier League 2. And is that a final twist or two as Villa's Premier League 2 season comes to an end? Jimo Aloba, he'd be a fitting player to score a winner. He would say Villa are likely to get at least one more good opportunity in the game. It was important in that good spell for Liverpool they didn't score again. Maybe Villa can galvanise and go on and finish this match strongly. I think Rodrigo Fortes might get a little run out. We know all about his ability. Here come Liverpool and Mabaya now, up against Kane Taylor, who didn't lunge in, crucially. Mabaya now for Balagis, and then the shot is scrambled over. Great block. Well, he was on a hat-trick. Nugamoa, he thought he had a terrific treble, but he hadn't counted on Villa's resilience and spirit at the back there. It was really important, because Nugamoa, when he hit that, I think he thought he'd got the match ball and also the 3 points for his team, but he wasn't successful. It's on a knife edge, this game, it really is. Great to see the positivity of both. Liverpool really charging at Villa. Here they come again, and it's another good block. Great organisation. An obdurate, stubborn Villa managing to get the challenges in. They've been pushed back by a very good Liverpool side, but Rodrigo Fortes, Youth Cup scorer, has been brilliant in that competition, helping Villa to the final. They'll take on Manchester City just over 2 weeks' time. Mason Kocher scored in back-to-back games for the 21s. That's what strikers need. That's their oxygen, the currency of goals. Took his goal really well after the initial shot was saved. More good work from Kocher. Fortes on for him. So it's defender for striker. I think Fortes is going to play in a forward position, but he's got to try and help his team here now. Possible breakaway for Aston Villa. Could this be the moment for them to get ahead again? Jimo Aloba for Taylor, the two number 3s there, Kane Taylor and Pinnington, head to head. Final couple of minutes. We are going to get more stoppage time, you would have thought. We haven't really needed the physios, but we've had 3 goals in this second half, and also the usual flurry of substitutions. So I've got quite reasonably good at guessing the amount of stoppage time. I'll go with 4 minutes, but I might be wrong. Might just be a little bit less than that. Here now is Hemmings. Great running, pulls it back. Oh, nice control in the middle, but it just ran away. Or is there a tug there by Rowe on Nugamoa? No, says the referee, edging towards the final minute of the 90. Still anyone's game here. Who's going to be brave? Who's going to take a bit of a gamble and make themselves a hero? Zeich for Mosquera. Taylor loses out. Sliding in there is Figueroa, and Cone Doherty gets it back now. Cone Doherty, tight angle. Unselfish there, didn't go for goal. And then the shot is scooped over the bar. That was the chance for Liverpool to win it. And Tyler Morton fluffed his lines. He couldn't keep it down. He lifted his head. He lifted the ball over the bar. I'm not sure Liverpool are going to get a better chance than that to earn all 3 points here. Would have been tough on Villa, that, really. For all the productive attacking play from both teams, Villa have got through some really good defending, actually, at times. Some crucial blocks. And here come Villa now at the other end. The shot rising over the bar, and it was Fortes, the substitute, fresh off the bench, showing pace and energy, but he lashes it over the bar. And it is indeed 4 minutes of added time. I had no inside knowledge there, I hasten to add. But, well, you knew both teams would have a good chance, and they happened within, what, a few seconds of each other. Morton at one end, Villa raced forward up the other. Fortes, who just come on for Kocher. And I don't want to be too harsh, because I've really enjoyed Rodrigo Fortes' performances this season, especially for the under-18s. But you just wonder if Kocher had had that chance, he probably would have buried it, but we'll never know. Fortes did really well with the pace to latch onto it. Oh, Villa are giving the ball away here. Chance now for Liverpool to win it. Good challenge comes in though, well, and he rectified the situation well there, did Mosquera. Well, it's been a fantastic game, this. Both sets of youngsters flying the flags for their respective clubs. They've been great ambassadors. Really good stuff this. They're both going all out for the win. Stoppage time. Villa looking to get the 3rd goal here. Borland racing forward, tries the pass, can't pick out Simpson. Borland tries to win it back, no quarter Astor given. Maximum commitment from both. Well, we've seen 4 goals tonight, 2 for each. We could easily have seen plenty more. Really exciting fair in the West Midlands to close out this Premier League 2 season. Looks like Liverpool's is going to be extended with Middlesbrough 2-1 up on West Brom, so Liverpool are going to make the playoffs. Villa won't be there this year. They did creep into them last year brilliantly with a win at Newcastle, then ran up eventual champions and top team Spurs very close in the knockout phase. They were very unlucky to lose that. This year they've obviously had very good results in other competitions. Really good performance tonight. 2 minutes left of stoppage time. Ball angled forward by Hemmings for Fortes, pulls it across the face, and Edwards was there at the back post, but Fortes has been terrific since coming on. Blazed a shot over the bar and nearly got an assist for a winning goal there. But yeah, good performances all round. Remember, we'll bring you the goals, the key moments from the game at the end of the broadcast tonight on Villa TV, as we watch a replay of Hemmings bursting forward moments ago, releasing Fortes with the pullback. Villa's goals tonight, Charlie Pavey and Mason Kocher, other good opportunities. Mugamoa with 2 for Liverpool. Zeich has made good saves, good performances all round. Hemmings with the spin. Oh, great running, delightful balance, good save by Miskio. That would have been the perfect end to the Premier League 2 season for Villa if Hemmings had scored. They would have been a fitting goal scorer as well, but good work by Miskio. This has really been simmering along nicely. It's come to the boil in the latter stages. Both teams with chances to score, and Villa with a really strong end to the season here, showing good fitness levels. All the subs have contributed who come on. Remember, under 18's big game tomorrow at Spurs, the women's team in the WSL at Spurs on Sunday. Best coverage, of course, Villa TV. And the senior men's first team, massive game against Newcastle tomorrow at Villa Park. Here's the cross in towards the back post. Referee blows, and that could be the final action of the game. And you'd have to say 2-all, maybe about fair. Overall, clear chances. Villa have probably shaded it, but Liverpool have played their part. They've actually really come on strong at times, and we wish them well in the playoffs. I'm sure Villa in future seasons will be right up there. Of course, got the Youth Cup final to look forward to at under 18 level. Hopefully going to win the league as well. Every chance of doing so, with all those matches to come. But there is the full-time whistle. That ends the Premier League 2 season for Aston Villa's under-21s. Terrific game of football tonight. Sparkling stuff under the lights at Bodymore. Entertaining, enterprising fair from both sides. Villa's goal scorers, Charlie Pavey and Mason Kocher. They've had plenty of other opportunities as well. Zeich made saves. Ungamoa with the 2 goals for Liverpool. It went one way, then the other. Probably a fair result in the end. Jack Woodward signing off from Bodymore Heath on this Good Friday evening. Enjoy the rest of your long Easter weekend as it finishes. Aston Villa 2, Liverpool 2. Good night.